Hi, I'm Marty Nimco. I've been working on a book called Little Doggie Stories, now just finished, and I thought I'd read, hopefully perform, a few of my favorite stories from it. This first story they were all short. It's about 4 stories. They're all maybe 2 or 3 minutes long each. First one is called A Dog Named Yes and a Dog Named No. Hi, my name is Yes, and I used to be a cute dog, but now, having roamed the streets of Oakland for 5 months, I'm matted and, infected all over with foxtails. I'm a mess. I don't blame my owner for dumping me. I couldn't stop chewing their slippers, their sofa leg, even their electric toothbrush, so this is my lot in life. Or so I thought. Then I met a dog I call No. I do that for a good reason. I'm a positive doggy and don't like to be critical. Every other dog I met was nice, but no, everything is black. I mean, we even saw this great bone. I think it must have been a barbecued rib. I toddled over to pick it up, and No said, "It could be rancid, even poison. Don't." I figured the chances were great that the bone was just fine and the person just wasn't civic-minded, and so tossed it onto the street. I started chewing as No cringed. His loss, it was wonderful. Then this truck pulled up. I had seen lots of trucks before, beer trucks, sausage trucks, but this one had a sign I didn't understand. Animal control. A woman and a man got out of the truck, came up to me, and I was sure they wanted to pet me. But No screamed, "Run away, they're going to trap you, take you to the pound and kill you." I didn't believe it, but this time No was right. The woman slipped this metal thing around my neck, pulled it tight, and threw me into the back of the truck. No started to run away, but the man got him, too. I was scared, and No was very scared. And we got even more scared when we got to this gray building. It didn't look friendly. When we got inside, there were lots of dogs in cages, barking, whining, yelping. Was No right? Will we all get killed? The woman threw us both into the same cage. We saw 3 other dogs in the cages opposite, and that made me feel good. At least we weren't the only doggies there. The next day, we saw that one of those cages, the one with the pit bull, was empty. No said, "See?" And the day after, another one was empty, the one with the chihuahua. But the one with a nice terrier was still there. Later that day, the woman walked by with a man. He looked at us, and I put my paws on the front cage and wagged my tail, and he said, "May I look at her?" But then No growled, and the man said, "Never mind, let me look at that terrier." The terrier wagged her tail and looked up at the man, and the man said, "May I take her for a test walk?" The woman nodded, put the terrier on a leash, and they were off. I didn't see them again, so I'm guessing that she got adopted. No said, "I'm sorry," I growled. I showed him that I forgave him by licking his face. 2 days later, even I was getting very scared we might get killed. But a nice couple walked by. I got my paws up again on the front of my cage and wagged my tail as wildly as I could, and this time No stayed quiet. The woman pointed to me and said, "That dog seems nice." And the woman opened the door. I was so happy, so happy, and nuzzled against his leg, and then his wife's. He cried, looked at his wife who nodded, and she said, "We'll take her." I was so happy, but what about No? Part of me wanted to stay with No. He needs a yes. But I couldn't resist having a new home, maybe a forever home. So I toddled over to No, lifted my paw onto his face, kissed him, and said goodbye. Anyway, that story is called A Dog Named Yes and a Dog Named No. This next story is called Can an Old Dog Learn a New Trick? Starting way back when I was a puppy, my owner, Bill, used to try to teach me to fetch. I would go after the tennis ball, but it was in my genes to stay where the ball is and not bring it back. You see, over the millennia, hunters bred dogs for sense of smell, so the dogs could smell the poor animal that the hunter shot far away, go to the spot and wait so the hunter could easily find his damned trophy. I love Bill, and so always I want to please him. I knew he wanted me to bring the ball back when he kept saying, bring it back, buddy." But it's hard, very hard, to triumph over your genes. And then there was today. We were at the field, and as usual, Bill tossed the ball closer than in years past because I can't run as far. Actually, I can't run at all. Waddle is more like it. He said as usual, "Bring it back, buddy." Not because he thought I would. It was just a habit, somehow comforting, I think, to both of us. But this time something happened. I'm old now, and maybe it's that I've become too tired to follow my genetic predisposition. Or maybe that it's over the years that my love for Bill's gotten so deep that it trumps the genes. So, when I got to the ball, as usual, I started to lie down with it. But when Bill said, "Bring it back, boy," I forced myself to put it in my mouth and took a step toward him. Bill exclaimed, "Good buddy, good buddy." And that made me take another step, a faster one. Again, Bill exclaimed, "Good buddy, the best buddy." And I actually started to trot and made it all the way back to him where I dropped the ball at his feet. And because I was tired, I also dropped at his feet. He cried. I cried. I love Bill, and he loves me. Forever. Who says you can't teach an old dog a new trick? Anyway, that story is, can you teach an old dog a new trick? This one is called Kisser. The doorbell rang at 3 a.m. I opened the door to find a wicker basket. In it, wrapped in a blanket, was a puppy. I work full-time. Who has time for a dog? Even if I got a dog sitter, that's expensive, and then there are the nights and weekends. And the training. Who has time? Who wants pee and poop in the house? So cute as the puppy was, I steeled myself, carried him into the car, and drove to the pound. She would not get off my lap. Indeed, the more I drove, the more she curled up, and then she fell asleep. I was not going to have a dog. I pulled into the pound's parking lot, saw the entrance. It reminded me of Auschwitz. I pursed my lips and lifted the puppy with one hand and started to reach for the car door with the other. And then, damn it, she licked my face. I just couldn't do it. I closed the car door, with the puppy and me inside. I named her based on what just happened. My forever companion would be named Kisser. But if it was one thing I wouldn't let Kisser do is disrupt my sleep. So even before I got home, I went to the pet store and got a crate and a cushion to put inside it. Add the food, collar and leash, and tax, and I was out $247. And that was before the vet visit. Perfectly healthy, but needing spaying and shots, and another $300. I read on the internet how important it is to start housebreaking immediately and to count on it taking a week. So damn it, I took a week off from work. And every time Kisser got up from his nap, I carried her outside to the peep place and waited and waited. Finally, success, followed instantly by a treat and massive praise. But despite my diligence, Kisser had a few accidents, including one vomit. But yes, after a week she was trained. But Kisser would not sleep in her crate. The first night I put her in, and within seconds she was whimpering, the sweetest damn whimper you ever heard. I needed to sleep, so I moved the crate from the kitchen to my bedroom. She still whimpered and whimpered. At some godforsaken hour I got up, put a towel on the far corner of my bed. I was not going to have pee or poop on my blanket, and I lowered her onto the towel. Immediately she stopped whimpering, curled up, and went to sleep. She was doing a great job of training me. The only thing, by the time I got up in the morning, Kisser was no longer at the foot of my bed. She was curled up around my warmest spot, my crotch. And when I started to get up, she jumped on me, licked my face, we went out, and she did her business like a pro. After a week, I was grateful I had Kisser. I could see why they call a dog a man's best friend. So you can imagine how I felt after 8 days the doorbell rang. It was a neighbor. She said, "I had just gotten a puppy when in the middle of the night I got a call from a hospital 200 miles away. My dad had had a heart attack. I was frantic. I was so frantic I forgot to leave you a note, and I forgot all about the dog. My dad died. We had the funeral. And when I came back and saw the crate, I remembered. I am so sorry, so sorry. Thank you so much for taking care of my puppy. Can I have her now?" Anyway, that story is called Kisser. The next story is called Dog Stolen Reward. Jessica had a stressful job as a social worker. So, more even than most dog owners, she was glad at the end of the day to get the enthusiastic greeting from her sweet doggie Bella. Bella had to hold it in all day because Jessica lived in an apartment. So Jessica's first priority was to take Bella for a walk, and, to kill two birds with one stone, they made a quick stop at Trader Joe's. She only needed half and half for her beloved morning coffee and spring greens for her daily virtuous salad. As usual, Jessica tied Bella to a post in an inconspicuous place on the side of Trader Joe's. For years there was never a problem, but today, when Jessica returned, Bella was gone. Jessica raced around, drove around, yelling, "Bella!" to no avail. She constantly checked her cell phone because Bella's tag listed her phone number and the word reward. Finally, adrenaline dissipated. Jessica plodded back home and got herself a glass of wine to wait out the vigil. The damn thief will call to get his fucking reward. And the thief did. Teresa, 18, single mother of two, struggling to live amid the noise of an SRO, felt desperate. So when she saw the docile Bella and the tag saying reward, Teresa took Bella, who, trusting Sweetie, came willingly. Flatly, Teresa said, "I've got your dog. I need $500. Jessica, so relieved, suppressed anger and quickly said, "Okay." Teresa responded, "You answered too fast. 1,000. Take it or leave it. I can get 2 for it." Jessica, now educated, feigned tears, waited and murmured, "That'll wipe me out, but okay, where should we meet?" They met in a remote warehouse district with Bella in Teresa's arms. Jessica tearfully ran to Bella. "Not so fast. We forgot about the $300 sales tax. $1,300 or I sell her." Jessica, suppressing anger, said, "Honestly, I don't have it. I took the 1,000 from the bank." "Go to the ATM." Jessica returned with the extra $300 and counted out $1,300, whereupon Teresa took the money and handed Bella back to Jessica. Teresa laughed. "I would have taken $50. Maybe I should take a poker." Anyway, that story is called Dog Stolen, Reward. And the final story, I think it's the final one, no, 2 more, is called Top Dog. Top Dog or whatever. Like human political campaigns, the one for Top Dog was a dog fight. For example, in the last debate, Pitbull Pete actually took a hunk out of Penny Poodle. And as in human campaigns, slogans are rife. A bone in every bowl. More belly rubs for bow wows. A dog's place is in the bed. Doggies in diners. And, stealing from dog trainer Barbara Woodhouse, there are no bad dogs, only bad owners. Privately, Pete knows that's BS, but he gets votes from liberals and especially from bad dogs. Pete shrugs. A vote is a vote. Using Dog Park, the canine social media app, Pete's PR director staged Pee-In at the Pound. 150 dogs showed and left an olfactory message, and the media covered it. Talk about yellow journalism. Pete has amassed a pack of activist volunteers, which he calls the Wolf Pack. They go house to house, and if no one answers or the human doesn't seem supportive, on the doormat, the Wolf Pack leaves a brown message. Their motto, "We don't take no shit." Of course, Pete knows how to play good cop, bad cop, so he fronts his wife, a Shih Tzu, to say what a family dog Pete is, while smilingly holding up her litter of bullshit puppies. Not surprisingly, Pete won in what Penny Poodle called a mudslide. Penny is trying yet again for canine campaign reform, but pup polling puts the odds of success at 100 to 1. Anyway, that story is called Top Dog. And the final story is called I Talk to My Doggie. Hi, my name is Lily and I'm 12. Maybe you won't be surprised that there are things I feel I can't talk about even with my best friend. So I talk with my doggie, May May. Here's what I said to her today. It's not word for word, but you get the idea. Who am I really? Yes, I'm biracial and that's cool, but what else? I'm smart, but there are smarter girls. I'm pretty, I guess, at least my parents say so, but there are prettier girls like Jasmine. And I got my period, but am I straight, gay, bisexual? It's cool to be trans. Would I be that? I don't think so. But when will I develop breasts, real breasts? Will I always be chocolate chips? I guess that would be okay. I still don't like boys much. Should I worry about that? Nah. A lot of boys are immature. Some still even pull girls' hair. And my school books and TV and movies tell us that most boys and men are worse than girls and women. I mean, like, what pops to my mind? The movies Frozen, Moana, Mulan, Matilda, Princess and the Frog. The girls are always better than the boys, and especially the men. I wonder what boys seeing all that must feel like. I worry more about my privilege. School tells me I'm privileged and have to give it up, at least some of it. But my parents worked hard to earn any of what they call privilege. But I'd be afraid to say that in class. Oh well, I'm so grateful to have you, May May. You want to go for a walk? Anyway, I think I have another story. Yeah, I have one more. It's called A Dog's Search for His Father. I lived with my mother until she died at age 13, around 90 in human years. Now I'm alone, 11, and a male, so I probably won't live that long. I never knew my father and hadn't really cared to. As far as I knew, he was just some German Shepherd mix my mother hung out with in the Vale, V-A-L-E. But now, aware of my mortality and feeling lonely, I decided to try to find my father. I figured I'd start with the only obvious place where I was born, the Vale. There, I met an owl. I described what my dad probably looks like. My mom had told me. And the owl said, "I think I know who you're talking about. There's a crotchety, very old dog who lives in a cave over there." I peered inside and was met with a weak growl. The dog looked like I had imagined he would, but older. He crept out, teeth bared, and he wheezed, "What do you want?" I asked, "Did you hang out with a shepherd mix many years ago?" "I did. We felt good roaming together, and we slept in this cave." "I can't be sure, but I think I'm your son." Quieter, more tired now that he wasn't on alert, he whispered, "I think I can see myself in you." And he lay down. I toddled over, rested my feet on his belly, and he sighed. Anyway, those are stories from my new book, Little Doggie Stories. I certainly would be honored if you would check out any of my 30 books. They're all on Amazon. Just go there and search on my name, Marty Nemko, Nemko, and you will find that book, Little Doggie Stories, and my other 29. But in any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.